Well, welcome back. Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. I'm Maria Bartiromo, and it is Wednesday, October 8th. It is just before 8 a.m. on the East Coast on the button. I hope you're having a good Wednesday morning. Coming up this hour in 10 minutes' time, we'll talk with Federated Hermes' Stephen Auth on stocks and investing today. At 8:20, join us for Congressman Jim Jordan. And at 8:30, VA Secretary Doug Collins will be here. All of that coming up. But first, the hot topic of the hour. Attorney General Pam Bondi slamming Democrat senators yesterday for questioning the administration's deployment of the National Guard in major blue cities. Here's the AG in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee yesterday.
I wish that you loved your state of California as much as you hate President Trump. We'd be in really good shape then, because violent crime in California is currently 35% higher than the national average.
Mr. Chairman, I asked a simple yes or no question. Attorney General Bondi
DEA, 4,500 kilos of fentanyl and 50 million fentanyl pills.
The American people don't know the rationale behind the deployment of National Guard troops in my state.
Our law enforcement officers aren't being paid. They're out there working to protect you. I wish you loved Chicago as much as you hate President Trump. And currently, the National Guard are on the way to Chicago. If you're not going to protect your citizens, President Trump will.
Bondi arguing President Trump's decision to send the National Guard into Chicago is aimed at addressing violent crime local police have not been able to contain. The president suggesting a backup plan if cities will not follow his lead. Watch.
Are you planning to invoke the Insurrection Act?
Yeah, well, it's been invoked before, as you know. If you look at Chicago, Chicago's a great city where there's a lot of crime. And if the governor can't do the job, we'll do the job. It's all very simple. They probably had 50 murders in Chicago over the last 5, 6, 7 months. Many people were shot. And then the governor gets up and he says, well, we can handle it. They can't handle it. They don't know what they're doing.
Joining us now for the rest of the program, host of the Faulkner Focus and Outnumbered co-host on Fox News, Harris Faulkner is with us this morning. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Yeah, yesterday that was some fiery hearing. Your reaction?
You know, my first reaction was Democrats are pressing against everything that Bondi and you showed just a few moments ago, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem as well, and what we're doing on the ground as a nation to try to help those blue-led cities that want to fight ICE, help the citizens of those cities. So my question is, well, without all of that, what's the Democratic plan to fix this? And I didn't hear that in the hearing, but it needs to be asked now. After what we saw, they are willing to fight against the Republican Party and President Trump, but they're not willing to fight for the citizens of this country, to hold the sovereignty that Biden broke by letting the world come in unvetted.
And when you speak to actual citizens, they want the National Guard. They want security. They want to feel secure in their city.
Oh, my gosh, of course we do. I mean, just think of us here in New York, where we go into a CVS and everything's locked up because stealing less than $750 worth of merchandise is not a crime. It's not punishable. People are dismissed. And that gets to quality of life, and that really eats away at how you feel about not only yourself, but your city, your country, your business, et cetera.
Yeah, and that's why President Trump won the election, by the way, last year. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem visiting agents at the Portland ICE facility yesterday following a weekend of chaotic protests. I mean, what they're doing to ICE agents is shameful. She says she's disappointed with officials' response there. She met with Oregon Governor Tina Kotek as well, who claims there's no national security threat in her state. Noem said that if city officials refuse to follow through on security, she will send in 4 times the number of federal officers. Some Portland business owners are begging for the help from the Trump administration. One told Fox she's experienced 10 break-ins in downtown Portland. A coffee shop owner says that she plans to install bulletproof glass after criminals shattered her shop's windows. This is how they're living, Harris.
Right. And you heard me right off the top put that in there. I put Bondi with Noem. I put all of these law enforcement agencies together because when you have 64,000 criminals in the city of New York, who we know came illegally here, you've got 2 things that become one. You've got them committing crimes. That means other crimes aren't being solved or thwarted. And that puts your citizens under such pressure. So you've got to let ICE do its job so that you can break the crime wave that's also coming. Not just on, you know, in the hands of the worst of the worst, the most violent of the criminal illegals who are here because it's a crime to get here in the first place, but also it just lets all the other criminals run roughshod.
Right.
Like the soft on crime policies, they can't adjudicate anything anyway. And so it's rampant. It's dangerous.
Well, I mean, the city, New York City, I mean, feels a little better after President Trump secured the border. I mean,
Agreed.
but, you know, I mean,
Agreed.
it's
a sanctuary city,
It's
though.
still an issue, though. Right.
Yeah.
It's still an issue. People still are feeling crime and worries about crime. But I have to say, it feels better after President Trump secured the border. What do you think?
It does feel better, but what just amazes me is that Democrats have chosen to defend the worst of the worst, the criminals and the illegal migrants. Why is it that that's the hill that they want to defend? It makes absolutely no sense to me and to so many of us.
Well, it's just because they want to go against Trump. I mean, that was what the whole pushback was. You just heard this conspiracy of the last 10 years. It was about taking Trump down, and it remains.
You know, I suggested this recently. I saw that you had Senator Eric Schmidt on the program. To senators I've been talking with, and Steve Hilton, who's running for governor of California, and I just had this conversation too. Look, this is an opportunity for Republicans. They have got to start to attract some of those disenfranchised and disaffected Democrats. I think that they will vote.
The blue dog Democrats, right?
And I'm looking at Jack Ciattarelli build up speed on this, and this is part of the conversation about who will keep America safe, who will keep citizens safe. And Democrats don't have an answer to that question. Their policies fail.
And again, look at the election and how President Trump won so much support in places like New York and New Jersey as well in 24.